Okay, so here we go with day 5, the 4 predictors of divorce. Now, I left off in the last video by introducing you to John Gottman, the psychologist with over 40 years of studying marriages, and in particular, he studied a lot of couples who've got divorces, and he's identified 4 behaviors that can predict divorce with 94% accuracy. He's done so much research on this that he's been able to figure out that if criticism, superiority, defensiveness, and stonewalling are in the relationship, 94% of the time, this couple is going to get divorced. So let's talk about them. Criticism is the first predictor of divorce. Criticizing your partner is different than offering a critique or voicing a complaint. The latter two are about specific issues, whereas the former is an attack on your partner at the core of their character. In effect, you are dismantling their whole being when you criticize. So let's look at the difference between an objection and criticism. Objection is what we talked about in the last video, a positive way of just saying, something isn't right, I don't like this, and this is how I feel, and so could we change this? You make an alternate pattern that they could follow the next time. So an objection, again, an example is, I was scared when you were running late and didn't call me. We had agreed that we would do that for each other. But a criticism, look how it changes here. Criticism is, you never think about how your behavior is affecting other people. I don't believe you are forgetful. You're just selfish. You never think of others. You never think of me. Look at the difference between objection and criticism. The effective communication, the gentle objection, just stating how you feel, describing the action, is, I was scared when you were running late and didn't call me. Again, notice it starts with I instead of you. I was scared. We had agreed that we would do that for each other. And the criticism starts with you. You never think about how your behavior is affecting other people. You never think. So, you statements. One giveaway of a criticism is when we make you statements, which is the opposite of an I statement. In the last example, the speaker unleashed a barrage of you statements. You never think about how your behavior is affecting other people. You're just selfish. You never think of others. You never think of me. Those are some pretty serious accusations to be leveling at your spouse. And no wonder they lead to divorce, but you can see how personal these are. They get to the core of the person, and they're really mean. They're not just stating what the action was, but it's personalizing them. The Gottman Institute provided an extreme example, and that was one that they provided. But they provided an extreme example to help readers understand better. But sometimes criticism tends to be more subtle than that. The listener may not even think that there's anything wrong with what they're doing or saying. You know how you can be sometimes. You always take forever in the store. You always get on me like this. According to Gottman, the antidote, though, for criticism is a gentle startup. So instead of this harsh startup with you, using I statements and expressing a positive need is a gentle startup. The antidote for criticism, then, is to object without blame by using a soft or gentle startup. Avoid saying you. which can indicate blame, and instead talk about your feelings by using I statements and express what you need in a positive way. To put it simply, think of these two things to formulate your soft startup. What do I feel? What do I need? An example of criticism is, you always talk about yourself. Why are you always so selfish? But again, the antidote is, I'm feeling left out of our talk tonight, and I need to speak. Can we please talk about my day? Notice that the antidote, I feel, is followed by I need. And then there is the respectful asking of the need to be fulfilled. There's no blame or criticism, which prevents the discussion from escalating into an argument. All right, let's talk about another one of these divorce predictors, and it's called superiority. The second problem is superiority, and when we communicate in this state, we are truly being mean. We treat others, we treat our mate with disrespect, or we mock them with sarcasm. We ridicule them, we call them names and mimic, or use body language such as eye rolling or scoffing. And the target of our superiority, our mate, feels despised and worthless. Superiority goes far beyond criticizing. While criticizing attacks your partner's character, superiority assumes a position of moral superiority over them. So not only are we saying they're bad, but we're also saying, I'm better. Superiority, an example is, you're tired? You're kidding, right? In other words, how could you be tired? I would never be tired in that instance. I've been running with the kids all day, running around like mad to keep this house going, and all you do when you come home from work is flop down on that sofa like a child and play those idiotic video games. So I don't have time to deal with another kid. Could you be any more pathetic? Superiority is fueled by long simmering negative thoughts about the partner. Most importantly, superiority is the single greatest predictor of divorce, says Gottman. And it's got to be eliminated. Superiority is corrosive. When present, things never go well in a relationship. Superiority is also often paired with body language, as we've said, like eye rolling, scoffing, using sarcasm during an argument. These may seem like innocent ways of communicating, but they are saying, during an argument at least, they are saying, I'm better than you. So the Gottman Institute offers the following examples. They say like an employee asking for a little extra time to finish a project, and their boss sarcastically saying, yeah, because that extra day is really going to make a difference. Or a husband saying to his wife, look, I've had to deal with whiny clients all day. I don't want to deal with your complaining. Neither person may recognize these as superior statements when they're saying them. But these kinds of words poison relationships quickly, whether or not either person is even aware it's happening. So the antidote to feeling superior is, unsurprisingly, appreciation and respect of that other person. Seeing their positives, seeing how amazing they are in their own ways that are different from you. Yes, the antidote is to build a culture of appreciation and respect in your relationship, and there are a few ways to do that. A good motto is, small things often. If you regularly express appreciation, gratitude, affection, and respect for your partner, you'll create a positive perspective in your relationship that acts as a buffer for negative feelings. The more positive you feel, the less likely that you'll feel you're superior. So again, a good motto is doing or thinking or saying small things often, and it creates a buffer for the negativity so that it gives you an opportunity to think through things clearly instead of immediately just kind of jumping out at the other person in anger. There's a buffer there of appreciation and gratitude. This is so helpful for both of you. Superiority. Here's an example. You forgot to load the dishwasher again. You are so incredibly lazy, and that comes with the rolling of eyes. But the antidote to this is, I know you've been busy lately, but would it be possible for you to load the dishwasher when I work late? I'd really appreciate it. So the antidote here works well because it expresses understanding right off the bat. This partner shows how they know that the lack of cleanliness isn't out of laziness or malice, and so they do not make a statement of superiority about their partner. Instead, the antidote is a respectful request, just stating the problem, not making it personal, just stating the problem, and then it ends up with a statement of appreciation. Defensiveness now is another one of these 4 divorce predictors that Gottman talks about. And it's a natural reaction when someone accuses you of something. It's simple instinct to defend yourself when attacked, verbally or otherwise. And defensiveness looks like this, according to Gottman. So if you look at the gold highlight there, the gold quote, it says, "You're always watching TV." And then defensiveness responds like this: "What do you mean? I'm always watching TV. Can I watch the news? You're always on your phone." Defensiveness is the simple instinct to say, "You're saying I'm the problem? Well, I'm pretty sure you're the one with the problem." And I got to tell you, this strategy is almost never successful. Our excuses just tell our partner that we don't take their concerns seriously and that we won't take responsibility for our mistakes. So the partner in the graphic to the left not only responds defensively, but then they reverse the blame in an attempt to make it the other person's fault. And I got to say, the statement in gold there is not a helpful way to approach that. That's not a soft startup. That's not gentle at all. But again, we don't have to respond in the same manner that someone starts off a conversation to us. Just because they're not approaching it in a correct way doesn't mean that we have to in turn do something that's going to be hurtful or get to that level, because that's going to escalate into a fight. We have to decide what's more important, the relationship or winning this argument. So instead, back to the section here in green, instead, a non-defensive response can express acceptance of responsibility, an admission of fault, and understanding your partner's perspective. Let's keep looking at this. So, you're always watching TV. Again, that's not a soft startup. It's not a good way to start this objection. But look at the response here. This is a good response. Instead of attacking, it says, "I know you're frustrated. I'm so tired when I get back from work that I just want to rest for a while. If it bothers you, let's find another way of let's find a relaxing activity that we can do together. What do you think?" okay, I'm sorry. It just feels so overwhelming when I'm trying to take care of our home and you're just sitting there. Okay. And then the response is, how about if I help you and then we both go for a walk later tonight? We both get to relax. And then the response is, sounds good, thanks for the understanding. Okay. Although it's perfectly understandable to defend yourself if you're stressed out and feeling attacked, this approach will not have the desired effect. Defensiveness will only escalate the conflict if the critical spouse does not back down or apologize. This is because defensiveness is really a way of blaming your partner, and it won't allow for healthy conflict management. All right, stonewalling is another one of those 4 relationship errors that leads to divorce. And it's often the result of the other 3 that we've talked about. Stonewalling is another name for ignoring someone or giving them the silent treatment. Stonewalling occurs when the listener withdraws from the interaction, shuts down, and simply stops responding to their partner. Rather than confronting the issues with their partner, people who stonewall can make evasive maneuvers such as tuning out, turning away, acting busy, or engaging in obsessive or distractive behaviors. The antidote now for stonewalling is simple. Take a break. If you feel like you're stonewalling during a conflict, stop the discussion and nicely ask your partner to take a break. Again, let them know you're needing to take a break simply for the health of this discussion and because you care about them. You want to do this in the right way. You're not thinking clearly. You need some time to think. And so you just need some space. Just do that in a gentle way, and then give them some idea when you're going to come back and talk about it. Don't just leave them indefinitely hanging. An example, all right, I'm feeling too angry to keep talking about this. Can we please take a break and come back to it in a bit? It'll be easier to work through this after I've calmed down. Then take 20 minutes to do something alone that soothes you, like maybe reading a book or a magazine or taking a walk, go for a run. Really just do anything that stops you from feeling flooded with all of these negative emotions. And then return to the conversation once you feel ready to do so. All right, so a question is, do you have a tendency to do any of these relationship killers? Like criticism or superiority or defensiveness or stonewalling? Could you share your answer with your mate, what you think you do, and then would you allow your mate to either agree or disagree? And hopefully if they're watching this with you, they'll understand they need to be gentle in their response, but maybe they could actually let you know if there are other things that you're doing as well that you could improve on. And then again, hopefully you can do the same with them. So watch this video 2 more times. This video is longer. It'll take you more time to grasp. Take note of things that stand out to you and discuss them with your partner if possible. Now next, we'll be learning about nonverbal communication and how you can make some simple changes that will produce powerful results. I'll see you in the next video.